I'm Michael Plato, professor of philosophy at Colorado Christian University. A specter is haunting Europe, the specter of communism. This is the opening sentence of the most influential book to come out of the 19th century, the Communist Manifesto. With over 500 million copies in print, only the Bible, the Quran, and Mao Zedong's Little Red Book outnumber it. In terms of its influence on 20th century global history, its impact was incalculable. Though only 30 pages in length, a pamphlet, really. It contains many of the key elements that authors Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels would develop in much later, larger works, such as the German Ideology, the Grundweis, and the massive 3 volumes of Capital. These works, along with the Manifesto, would become central to the communist vision and program. The Manifesto of the Communist Party was put together by Marx and Engels in response to a call from the German League of the Communists, a revolutionary political party, in order to expound its aims and policies. Marx and Engels completed the project just in time for the revolutionary year of 1848. In that fateful year, revolution broke out all over Europe and in many other places around the world. The authors had hoped it would be translated into several other languages, increasing its influence. But after a second revised edition was completed and published, revolution began to wane. The Manifesto was no longer wanted or needed. It would languish unread for another 20 years before a new series of revolutions in the late 1860s and early 1870s prompted its return to international attention. Since that time, it has never been out of print, and it has become one of the most influential and discussed texts in world history. For much of the 20th century, nearly 1/2 the world's population lived lives that were shaped by its pronouncements and conclusions. And for its critics, during this same period, it was responsible for innumerable atrocities. Since the fall of the Soviet Union and the communist Eastern Bloc countries, the Manifesto was again consigned to irrelevancy. Yet in recent years, with a new and growing interest in Marxist thought, it appears to be on the verge of another return. The copy of the Manifesto that we have here is of the second edition. The first edition had been published in February of 1848, and it was something of a rush job as there were numerous typos and misprints. Marx and Engels revised the manuscript and fixed these issues for the second edition, which was published in either April or May of the same year, and it is this edition which would become the basis for all subsequent printings. As it was a political pamphlet meant for popular consumption, the physical quality of the document was not very high in terms of paper and binding, and as a consequence, few originals have survived to this day. In fact, this is one of only 8 known copies of the second edition, making it extremely rare. Ironically, given that its authors were major critics of capitalism, this work has come to be of incredible monetary value. Whether you agree or disagree with its central philosophy, the Communist Manifesto continues to be a work that needs to be studied and assessed.